Do you guys know how old Mendelssohn was when he wrote this? Like early 20s maybe, or so. I don't know. I should know this. Mendelssohn composed his octet, I think, when he was in his teens. So he's very young. He's tempestuous, and this piece to me is always on the move. Okay, if you look at the writing, the offbeats, all of this kind of rhythmic, motivic stuff is always moving. You have a couple breaths of fresh air in the themes. Okay, that kind of stuff can be a little more relaxed. And I thought you guys did that so beautifully. You really connected on all that. I would love to hear the beginning. The offbeats. Gosh, those are tricky, right? That's kind of like the bane of every quartet's existence when we play this. But Ariel, I think this is in your hands, actually. Okay? So, this motive, you have to get going, okay? Because they have this, they are not only the motor, you are the motor, okay? So from your first beat, you gotta get going, okay? So it sounds a little kind of like you're content, you're letting the other people kind of like, you guys have offbeats and like, you gotta do the work, and like, you're hanging out, you've got this beautiful sound. I want you from the get-go. Okay, I want you to go all the way to the G, okay? Can I just hear you play that alone, if that's okay? You can do it. You sound great. Good. Structure your bow so that it's from less to more. Okay? Beautiful. When you get to this, is it pleading? Is it here I am? Is it I'm asking for something? You don't have to answer that. Make a decision in your mind and then figure out how you're going to do that on your instrument. Try it one more time. Convince us of what you think without using words. Beautiful. Okay, so let's put that all together. Now I'm going to count you off. Is that okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Driving, okay? So a big misconception, and this happens in orchestra, like the inner voices will have like something like, and the conductor will be like, faster, 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 and the melody is actually behind, or the bass line is behind, okay? So we need to focus kind of on the outer parts for a second, okay? So, so PK, right? All right, so on these notes, I want you to land sooner, okay? Especially on the half notes. Again, sometimes the bigger the note value, the later we land. It's kind of counterintuitive. I want you to drive. So, okay? It's just a little kind of comfortable for me. I want it to be uncomfortable, okay? So maybe a little more bow speed. Be a little edgier, okay? Let's try this one more time. Do you like the count off, or do you want to attempt it by yourselves?
What do you guys think?
Let's try it. Let's try it alone, okay? Let's have the off beats just have a little more air. You guys are playing really well together, so. And you're taking a little too much time on your, get to that E. Okay? Excellent. Sorry, that was awesome. I just noticed it. Okay, I'll be quiet. Perfectly several times now, and I know you can do it, okay? Trust your gut. This is a tricky beginning, and quartets will spend hours on this beginning, okay? So don't feel bad. But this is the stand. I actually do need a tall stand. Let's go from, I don't have any measure numbers, so I might look at somebody's part. Let's go from, do you guys know where Ariel has that? Okay, so we've lost this urgency. Okay. I know it's in 4, but I want you to feel this constant kind of undercurrent. And when I say edginess, I don't mean sound. I mean like an anxiety, which you really won't want to have ever. But you'll probably get at some point. Thank you. So, yeah, let's start there. Does everyone know where that is? I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. You have a gorgeous sound, by the way. I want it to be a little kind of more mysterious, okay? More, a little less, a little less, a little less, okay? So balance can actually affect intonation for good and for bad. So let's just try that unison right there. Good, one more time. That's really let's just get it together. Try not to mark the beats, just let the music mark the beats, okay? And neither of you is going to let the other one go down without a fight, okay? So who starts this? Is it you? Who has that first? You do, okay? She has a forte. Do you have a forte? When you come in after her? Okay, you're gonna be a little more forte. And then you're gonna be a little more, okay? We're building this, okay? You need to show the listener that you're exchanging, because right now, Ariel, I can't hear you as well, and I know that you have it in you, okay? Fight, all right? I can tell you, okay? Do you guys want to try something different? You are driving, you're literally just playing a simple scale, right? That's what's so amazing about this piece. It's just mostly scales up and down for all of the themes, okay? I loved that. At least that much, okay? You are going to want to elbow bar out of the way, okay? Let's try one more time in unison. Again, remember the balance, okay? Can you do the dishes? Can you do the dishes? No, you're going to become more insistent, okay? So, like, hey, do you hear me? I'm trying to convey something, okay? So that's what you're doing there. And then when you do, I'm sorry, those are not the right notes. And I see you have a diminuendo now, but I'm looking at the score, actually. So apologies. But I want you to keep that driving edge, okay? Does that make sense? Ariel, I want you to be more insistent. Okay? It looks like you have a sforzando on just the first A sharp. Is that true? Okay. Again, you have this twice. I want you to, is this where we are? I want you to blast that out, okay? I want you to hold your violin high. This is your solo moment, okay? They're just accompanying you, okay? You are really saying something here, okay? You guys can start where you want around there. the sonority and you kind of relax and it wasn't so driving. I think this is the place for that. I think you guys did that really well. Let's just get our hairpins uniform. Okay, so are we doing it with pressure? Sorry, wrong notes. Or whatever, like bow speed. Make a decision. I want you guys all to try it the same way. So, Ariel, how are you doing yours? Who does this first? Who does that figure first?
Is the viola before?
Sophie, okay. I have a score right here. I'm just testing you guys. I want you to try it with bow speed. So that would mean the first couple, whatever the notes are, and then move the bow through the crescendo and slow the bow for the diminuendo, okay? So can you guys pick a spot? I don't have bar numbers, I apologize, but pick a spot kind of a couple bars before where that motive starts that you all exchange.
What do you think?
So you have 2 beats rest to get to the lower half, and it's Mendelssohn, not Brahms. So let's try. So the heaviness with a slight lift. Good. You are actually, you're giving it up too quickly, the surprise. So, sorry about that. Start lower in the bow for this pickup so that you have more room. Don't move the bow here. Does that make sense? Start to move it here. Pull it here, but without too much pressure. Okay? Good. I heard a little pressure in the so see, I just did the speed. I didn't dig it. Try it one more time. Okay, Ariel, can I hear yours? Okay, let's try it one more time. So where's yours? Show me your music. Is it the same? Okay, so barely in the bow. Barely in the bow. Move the bow, but no pressure. Does that make sense? Just speed. That's better. So can you hear yours? I know yours is going to be great. We don't test the expert. Okay, so let's put that together and see how it sounds.
Same thing?
Great. Let's skip ahead to this dotted rhythm. I want it sharp, I want it commanding, I want it together, okay? So I want you guys to all kind of look at each other, make an internal decision. Maybe you've talked about this. How much bow are we going to use? Are we accenting? How much pressure are you using? These are the kinds of tough questions that keep musicians up at night. So just go from the measure before, because that's the tricky part, getting into this, right? Once you start going, it's easier. starting when you come in, can you start on a down bow? Ta-da, ta-da, so that you're on the same bow. Does that make sense? So, right, what you have here makes sense kind of in a vacuum, like by itself, but to line up with the rest of the group, so you would start very short, down, up, because they're going down, down, up, down, up, up. Does that make sense? So you're coming in on, yep, and use very, very little bow when you come in on that down bow. Okay? Just from that measure. You guys got into that really well. Where is this thing? Right, okay. So you guys have this exchange da da da. I'm interested in the eighth note. Da ba da the pickup, not da da da. Okay. Da da. Okay. Go from the con fuoco. Can you guys use more bow? Just really with abandon, but together. Conductors who come in and they'll be like, oh, I want this to sound, more challenging, or I want this to sound really buoyant. And I mean, that's lovely. But how do you do that, right? It comes from a technique. Is it all up bows? Is it heavy? Are you using more bow? Are you using more depth? Are you using more speed? So these are questions. So can you just try that? Think speed. Good. Good. And a little vibrato at the top. Or okay. Try it one more time. Okay, I like that. Avoid the pressure. Really just skate. You're skating. One more time. Great. I love that. Whoever has a figure like that, in general, these hairpins, like that, I think for this movement is really what's going to make it pop. Otherwise, it gets too laden down. It gets too heavy. And Mendelssohn it's intense and it can be fraught, but there needs to be like a buoyancy and a lightness to it. Can you guys go from Sophie's second ending? Sorry, those are the wrong notes probably. And again, oh, absolutely. So lead this, like I was asking Ariel to do in the beginning. You are driving this, okay? With this in mind. I think you can start yours a little more, like you're tucking in so beautifully, like I'm almost losing you, okay? So we want this kind of counterpoint, even though you're playing one at a time, just this battle again, okay? Can we do second ending one more time, and then we'll probably have to stop in a minute? nerdy way, if you will, like what exactly am I doing? And like how does that translate to emotion in the music? You guys sound great. Thank you so much.